What is going on, collectors? Optical 20 here, back for another video. So today we are doing a part 2 of before you buy older Hot Toys, and it was one of those videos where I see a lot of demand. I never thought that would be as good as it was reception wise with the collector community, but hey, here we are. Hot Toys, great company, love collecting them, but let's be honest, they're not the best quality. They don't last forever. So before you buy older Hot Toys, this is the part 2. If you want to watch the part 1, I'll put it on the link. So this is 5 new figures that we're going to talk about that maybe applies to you if you're buying older ones. So first and foremost, let's talk about Two-Face. So there's 2 versions of Two-Face now. This is Two-Face 2.0. But you might be tempted by getting Two-Face 1.0. I know J&D just kind of like teased us or announced their Two-Face. That looks fantastic, but let's be honest, that's going to be like, what, $1,000, maybe less. But the Two-Face 1.0 and the 2.0 are pretty cheap nowadays. So you might be tempted, you know what? Let me just get Two-Face 1.0. It's selling for $120 or something like that. 2.0, it's not too bad himself, but before you buy the 1.0, keep in mind it has a certain issue, and that is the knee. This is what, like MMS 93, I think. You might think 1.0 is better. It has a second head sculpt, second, body, coat, but this is what you're gonna get. You're gonna get a knee that would break. It's not a big deal. You can change the body, but just keep that in mind if you decide to go that route. A second one is Snider Batman. There should be no, if you're collecting, I would say, the Snyderverse, then you might be tempted to pick this one up. You'll be like, yeah, you know what? It's cheap nowadays. I want to get the Justice League version. Most notably, this is more, I would say, more prevalent, this issue, on the BVS Batman. Now, we already have BVS Batman 2.0, and I think InArt's going to come up with one. So if you are planning to get the first BVS Batman, just keep in mind, I don't know if this is going to plague 2.0 as well, but this is a big issue with 1.0, and that is the flaking of the suit. So you can see here, the suit is made out of this like weird rubber, I don't know, pleather type of thing. And if you are in a humid area, you're going to be prone to this. You can see his butt as well, because it has a weird fold in the back, so it's prone to splitting. So just keep that in mind before pulling the trigger on the BVS 1.0. Ed 209. I know Robocop just made a comeback. Robocop 2.0, or no, from Robocop 2. So you might be tempted to get Ed 209 or ED 209. Before you do so, this was a big topic back in, I don't know when this was released, 2011, 12, 14, I don't know. But the dome has been cracked, so it dries up. A lot of people are putting like the Honda grease, Mod Podge, I think was what you call that. But this is what's going to happen to the dome. It will happen to you as well. It would crack, and a lot of people were pissed about it because this was an expensive piece. I think even up to now, even if you buy this sealed, which is going to be rare, it is, especially now that it's sealed in that condition, you're most likely going to have a crack on the dome of this figure. So just keep that in mind. Joker from Suicide Squad. I don't know why you would buy this now, but if you are, maybe you are. I love this figure as well. Like I did like Suicide Squad. I might be just one of those guys who just likes DC a lot. So I did purchase this. I doubled down and purchased Arkham Joker as well. But keep in mind, before you pull the trigger in this, if it's new, because it comes in with a separate coat in a different tray. But if you're buying this brand new, that's fine. If it's used, you gotta ask for pictures, because this is very prone into staining. So what I mean by that is the purple coat itself stains the body, and this is how it's gonna look like for you. It's not the end of the world, as you could kind of fix it. A lot of people, me including, does not. If I'm gonna pose him, I don't pose him with a purple coat, which kind of defeats the purpose of quote-unquote purple coat Joker. But this gives you leeway down the line, because the body is amazing. It has a lot of tattoos and all that stuff, very detailed. So it's in a sense, it kind of is a shame to put purple coat on it because you're not gonna see the body, and also the chains and the. Some people put like wraps around his arms because it's more prevalent on the arms because it's tight around that area. So you can see the before and after. I found this pics on the internet, so credit to whoever uploaded this. But you could cure it with the was it not Benoxol? I do have a tutorial on how to, if you have staining, on how to fix it, but this is a pretty heavy staining. I myself only have some on the elbows, and it's purple. It kind of blends with the body, but like I said, if you are buying this used, I would ask pictures of the body to make sure that there's no staining. Otherwise, you can keep the coat on, but the body itself has a lot of tattoos. It's a shame if you can't display him as such. And our final piece here would be Predators. Now, one caveat, I don't know if the new Feral Predator has this issue. It's a newer one. There's several issues with the Predators dating back from the early on Predators, even up to the most, maybe not the most recent one. The most recent one I would say would be Scar Predator, which I do have. I didn't get the flaking. To be fair, it's very rare that I got any flaking. Well, recently I did, maybe because I don't move my figures. That's why I don't get the flaking. But these guys, even this is my newest figure, at least as far as Predator is concerned, is this Scar Predator. Amazing looking figure. All of the Predators looks great, even the older ones. Some problems do exist though. So now with the new Predators, which is the Feral one and the I don't know if that's Jungle Hunter considered, or Classic Predator 2.0, but I hope they fix the issue with the dreads and the leather flaking and all that stuff, because they use pleather, and this is how it looks like when you first get it. It looks great, it has all the belts and all of his stuff because it's Predator. The problem is over time, and especially if you live in a country which is somewhat humid, it would start flaking, kind of like Batman. The solution would be to get another leather, but it would look like this, and it's not gonna look exactly nice. I'm not a big fan of just letting it flake and just letting it look like this, but yeah, that is an issue, and he has it all over his body. So hopefully they fix that. Maybe use a rubber instead or plastic. I don't know. And another one is, the big one is his dreads. This is not as bad as some people had it, but what happens is it dries up and it starts just peeling off, and it's not a good look. Also, like those little gold, I don't know what you call that, clips on his dreads are fading as well. Mine did. But it's just, it would ruin the look of your Predator. So before buying, especially if it's used, you don't know where they live, I would ask pictures for both. If you buy it sealed, most likely the moment you open the box, the pleather would be gone and this would probably be faded. And I've seen sealed older figures in some obscene shops, especially in Asia. In the Philippines, I had one. I've seen some. But yeah, just keep that in mind if you are buying a Predator figure. But yeah, that is it. Hopefully this video would be helpful for those who are hunting for older figures. It's always fun to hunt older figures. I don't always recommend it, but hey, I can't keep you from trying to spend your money. But if you are gonna do it anyway, I would highly suggest you watch some of these videos, and hopefully you get something out of it, or prevent you from buying maybe a lemon figure down the line. But thank you for watching. Hopefully you like this. Give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and if you want to see part 3, or if you have any suggestions for other videos that might be helpful for other collectors down the line, let me know in the comments or DM me. But again, as always, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.